This week, having crossed the Aegean, we are now going through the Corinth Canal. We show you where to stop off and pay your dues, or how to pay them on the website, and answer some of the frequently asked questions. It was €188 for us for just under a 4-mile journey. But boy, was it worth it. Amazing scenery, and we're so glad that we chose to go this way rather than round the Peloponnese again. As we showed you in the last video, we'd positioned ourselves roughly at Salina. This gave us about an 18-mile hop to the beginning of the canal. We wanted a couple of days rest as we'd come across the Aegean at a hell of a lick, and it took quite a bit out of us. We're not spring chickens anymore, you know. We loved Salina. It was really great, and we had a good time with some of our friends in both monohulls and cats. More about that later. We also wanted a day or two to get our ducks in a row when it came to going through to Corinth. We wanted to study the maps and charts and make sure that we were paying in the right way. By paying cash, we were able to stop at the entrance to the canal on the eastern side. And as you can see in this picture, there's quite a lot of room. On the western side, if you're travelling from the west to the east, there's not quite so much dock room, and you might be better to hang around outside of the actual canal itself. Even so, where we were, on the eastern side, there was plenty of room, and all we had to do was call up on Channel 11 once we got about 3 miles from the actual entrance to the canal itself. Just be aware that all the power boats that are using the canal are going to race towards the entrance, regardless of whether they've got to wait or not. And in doing so, they create a lot of wake. Be aware of this, it might catch you unawares. I've put a link in the description to the tolls calculator and website for the Corinth Canal. There's also a very handy dandy page with frequently asked questions. We read all the way through this and calculated their fee before we went, so that we knew exactly what we got to do when we got there. There's a link in the description. It's well worth going and having a look before you go, regardless of how you're paying. There we are, this is the entrance. I've just been down and done the paperwork. The guy's super helpful. Absolutely super helpful. You can get some diesel here. We're okay for fuel at the moment. Just stand by, they said, on Channel 11, which you can hear rattling away in the background, and they'll tell us when it's time to go. Asked us if we could maintain 6 knots. So it was only a few minutes before they started letting the powerboats go through. The biggest go first and the smallest go last. Now, we did actually hear over the radio someone referring to a tender being pulled or towed, and that there may be a charge for that. We'd heard about this before and put ours up on the davits, as we always do when we're travelling distances. But be aware, if you tow your tender, like the guy in front of us, you may get charged. Obviously, this has a tender garage. What an amazing craft. He was being shouted at to go faster. He was only doing about 3 or 4 knots, and they do like you to do 6. But there you go. I suppose when your boat's that big, you can do what you want. wasn't long before we were away from the dock and on our way through. The guy in front of us didn't want to go particularly fast either, which kind of suited us because we had 5 cameras running in various locations. Now we've made 2 videos, in fact 3 videos, of the whole of the Corinth Canal, and we'll put them up later in the month. We'll also put a checklist of things that you need to do or need to check before you leave, and I'll put this on the screen and also a link to it on our website. Meanwhile, here's some of what we thought were the best bits, although it was all pretty awesome. So as we promised, here's a list of things that we think you ought to check or ought to do before you go. I'm not going to call them all out, but just freeze the video and then you can copy them down somewhere or print them off. Now, as for recommended anchorages, we actually have two. The first one was here at Salina, and this is about 15-18 miles from the entrance to the canal. It's extremely well protected, and you can move to either side of the bay depending on where the prevailing wind is coming from. Once you get out of the canal onto the other side, there's two recommended anchorages from us. The first one is called this. I'll try and find the name in English, and the second one is Galaxia. Now Galaxia is really good, it's cheap, you pay to go on the wall. But the previous one is free, and it doesn't have electricity, but it does have water. We're going to cover both of these anchorages in the next couple of videos, and we even managed to get some drone footage of both, so watch for the upcoming videos. Meanwhile, here's an extract from a video that we're going to put up probably later this week. It's just the canal, no talking, just the beauty of the place as we went through. Don't forget, like, subscribe and share among your friends. Sail safe.